Business, Australia's business channel. On Australia's business channel, this is Mediaweek.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Nigel Freitas. Thanks for joining us today on Media Week. Coming up for you, the war of words between FTA and pay TV over sporting rights. Quarterly wrap, the media stocks over and underperforming so far this year, and firing up, Amazon making a move into streaming TV. And our guest host today, as always, is James Manning from Mediaweek. He joins us in the Sky News Business Centre. James, good to see you today.
Hello, Nigel.
But first up, to start off Media Week this time, ad revenue figures for the outdoor sector for the first quarter were released this week, and they have showed a rise overall. But to give us some insight into how this part of the market is tracking, we're joined now by Brendan Cook, the CEO of oOh!media. Brendan, welcome to Media Week today.
Thank you.
Now, we did see these figures out earlier this week, and they have shown a bit of an increase, but maybe not a large increase, if you like. How happy are you at the rate of increase in this sector?
Look, I think certainly we're expecting over the full calendar year to be up sort of 4 or 5% as an industry sector. So it's a little bit behind where we would have liked it to be. Probably a symptom of the market being very short and late and clients being a little subdued in their expenditure. But we are seeing our forward billings into the full year, given that the nature of out-of-home is you can sell a lot in advance. For example, people like Apple and Samsung book their October-November campaigns early. We're actually seeing our pacing well up on last year in over double percentage figure points at the moment.
Why do you think it has been slow, though, to start off the year?
Oh, look, I don't. It's always about economics and confidence, I suppose, and that's probably part of the reason. I think confidence, but I think we're seeing client confidence come back into expenditure. We're certainly seeing our briefing activities have increased dramatically in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and certainly we're expecting a very strong second half of the year. Quarter 2 is up. Hopefully it'll be up better than quarter 1.
Is Q1 your slowest quarter of the year?
Generally it is. Generally January, despite being probably the best month to be getting people out of home for reasons of when clients spend their dough, is effectively down on normal.
And just give us a little bit of insight in those figures. Looking at, I think they break it out into four sectors inside outdoor. The retail figures seem to be strongest. Was there any sort of reason behind that?
I think retail obviously has a strong ROI performance for clients. Clients who do use the medium can track very clearly and precisely the uplift in
retail,
sales.
We mean a point of sale in shopping centres.
In shopping centres, yes, that's correct. So that's certainly driven some increase. And I think also retail category also includes lifestyle, like ads in cafes and pubs and universities. And we've certainly seen an uptake in some of those areas which have probably got heavier digitisation at the moment.
What about the trading performance of your company in particular? You're not a public company anymore, so we can't peek inside under the covers at the finances, but are things generally going well?
Yeah, we had a very strong 2013, in part through revenue growth and performance, but we also acquired at the end of 2012, and obviously in putting 2 major businesses together, we were basically the second and third biggest company in the market. We're now the largest, so we've certainly been able to drive synergies and performance around overall sales by bringing the 2 groups together, and we expect that will continue to grow throughout 2014 and 2015 as we bring together the products in a lot stronger way.
Tell us about, there's been a lot of digital investment in people putting up digital screens. If you catch a train anywhere in Sydney at the moment, you'll see guys working hard putting up stuff, and I don't think it's yours. But tell us about digital investment and what sort of time frame do you need before that investment starts paying back?
Sure. In terms of payback, it varies by the different products. If you're on big billboards on a road, which are much more expensive, through to networks like you build in cafes or other areas. The industry's grown its revenue from 7.5% a few years back to 12.5% of its digital. We as a company are much significantly higher than that. We certainly have invested over $30 million in the last 2 years in digitalisation, and we see that investment continuing for a few more years as you make the step change in changing the way the medium can reach people using the digital product. Importantly, there was always about $4 billion that we could never pitch for just because of the nature of how the medium was posted. So by bringing in digital, it is allowing us to provide a wider way advertisers can get to reach people quicker, but secondly, better ways for them to engage with some of the digital products that we're putting in place.
Brendan, we are seeing here and overseas declines in traditional media spending, advertising spending, things like radio, for example, even TV, newspapers definitely. Why is it that outdoor advertising is bucking the trend, both here and overseas?
Two pretty simple reasons, really. One is our audience isn't declining, and technology is our friend. And I suppose for most of the other traditional mediums that's not necessarily, those two factors aren't necessarily true. And that's certainly been the key strength for us. You know, we've brought in new advertisers to the market, spending significantly more in the technology area. People like Google now spend a lot of money with us. You know, Apple spends significant amounts of money with us, Samsung, HP, etc. So a lot of the new companies, for want of a better term, that are growing fast are big spenders of our medium, as well as the online businesses who really need to get people directly to them, are spending a significant amount more than in past.
Now, is oOh!media also getting into some areas you haven't been before? You've had a partnership with Driving Edge recently.
Yes.
You've started a new division, so tell us what that does.
Well, we've always had an experiential vision for about 5 or 6 years, but what we realised we needed to bring in
And experiential is?
sampling promotions type areas, particularly in shopping centres. It's allowed us to bring in some extra skill sets and some extra ways we can connect people. So that combined with other areas like we're doing in universities, where we've created what we call a 360-degree product for students, curated by students, from digital signs on right through to online products. So we are looking at that engagement, as we call it, connecting people away from home is what we're trying to do, and that's really our business model.
Now, you talked, Brendan, about the second half being better than the first half. So I'm expecting, you're obviously tipping a better finish for the year for 2014. How are you seeing, though, the interplay between traditional media advertising spend and outdoor media? Do you think that this recovery, if you like, that you're seeing will be spread across the industry, or is it going to be restricted to outdoor media?
Well, we'd love to say it was restricted to us, but I don't think that'll be the case. I mean, TV, I think, will have a very strong year this year. Certainly that's trending and tracking well for them. Channel-specific questions taken out of it. So overall, I think we as a sector will have a particularly strong year for us, but I do think that many of the other traditional media will also have an increase throughout the year as well.
And most exciting outdoor ad campaign we can look forward to?
There's one we've just launched today, actually, which is for Hunger Games DVD, which actually has people interact with their mobile phone at the sign, but when they do, every other digital panel in the shopping centre has a flash of flame come onto the digital screen.
Very good.
So
keep an eye out for it if you are out shopping. Brendan, thanks for coming on today.
Pleasure.
And that was Brendan Cook from oOh!media. Coming up on Media Week, Evan Lucas from IG tells us who made the list this quarter for the best and worst performers in the media market. Stick around.